Welcome back, gamers, to Top 10 Gaming. I'm your host, Johnny Rogers, and if you happen to be new here, we put up daily content on all things gaming, so if you're down with that, then tap subscribe to never miss another video. Plus, make sure you stay all the way to the end of this one because you won't believe our #1 spot. And don't forget to leave us a comment down below with what your favorite video game is that you wish they made more of. Now, without any further delay, let's dive right into today's video, the Top 10 Games You Never Knew Got Cancelled. At number 10, Mega Man Universe. Developed by Capcom for the Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation Network, the game would have allowed players to create and customize their own levels and characters. A lot of the structure for the game was based on Mega Man 2 and began production in March of 2010. It essentially was Mario Maker before Mario Maker. This at first was an exciting concept for fans of the series, especially with the recent success of their other downloadable releases, Mega Man 9 and 10. Although all thanks to some early previews for the game, we never actually got to see this creation come to life. The first reviews for the preview remarked at how unremarkable the art style was and how even more unresponsive the controls for it were. This combined with the Mega Man creator leaving Capcom in 2010 all spelled terrible news for the game's completion. They did their absolute best to say that everything was fine, but by 2011 the team finally called it quits and not too many people even remember. And at number 9, STARFOX 2. This action game, co-developed by Nintendo and Argonaut Software, was intended to be the sequel of the first Star Fox meant for the SNES. Much like the first game, Star Fox 2 was trying to push the boundaries of what was possible for graphical capabilities at the time. Initially, the plan was to release the game in 1995, but due to some growing concerns over its primitive 16-bit 3D visuals, the game was cancelled by Nintendo. It really was just poor timing because as they were trying to do the best with what they had, other competitors were already 10 steps ahead. Video games had been moving from 16-bit to 32-bit hardware, and Nintendo just feared that their product wasn't going to measure up whatsoever. The really sad part about this forgotten game is that the game was actually complete when they pulled the plug. Then, to add salt to their wounds, Nintendo essentially used all of the code from that game to produce Star Fox 64 without paying Argonaut a single penny. And at number 8, STARCRAFT Ghost. This unreleased game was a military science fiction stealth action video game that was previously being developed by Blizzard Entertainment. In the game, you would play as this sort of psychic spy named Nova in the years following the StarCraft Brood War expansion. It was their attempt at trying to find a way to create games that revolved around a connected universe. However, thanks to many delays in its development and nihilistic software passing over everything to Swinging Ape Studios, the game never got to see the light of day. Blizzard was mainly holding on to this project because they wanted to do their research first into what the 7th generation of video game consoles would bring to the table. Although come 2014, a full 12 years since its announcement, the Blizzard CEO confirmed that the project was dead. And at number 7, Rainbow Six Patriots. This canceled first-person shooter was part of the Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six series originally announced back in November of 2011. In the game, Team Rainbow is brought to New York City to fight off a new terrorist group called the True Patriots. This militia group had decided to act as the judge, jury, and executioner for the victims of what they believed was Wall Street corruption. The game got off to a rocky start when Ubisoft had discovered that someone may have leaked their gameplay footage. Trying to be one step ahead of it, they chose to prematurely release a trailer for the game. The trailer, though, was only able to show their pre-rendered concept that was created the previous year, so it really only showed off what the game could look like rather than actual footage. Then come 2012, everything started to fall apart. The creative director, their narrative director, the lead designer, and their animation director were all removed from the development team. In May of 2013, there had been little to no updates on the game's progress until it was announced that GameStop had removed Patriots from their database and cancelled all pre-orders. Now, while this game may have been scrapped though, they did use much of it for what would become Rainbow Six Siege. So there's that. And at number 6, Thrill Kill. This unreleased title was a 1998 fighting game intended for the Sony PlayStation. Its prime selling point was that you would be able to fight with 4 players simultaneously. However, much of the game's positive notes were quickly overshadowed by the looming controversy around its intense violence and sexual content. Game mechanics such as limb dismemberment and crudely named special attacks then became the focus of every critic out there. In fact, it was so gruesome that the ESRB rated it an AO, which stands for Adult Only. In comes gaming giant EA though, who bought up a bunch of titles and wasted no time in killing the project, stating that it was senselessly violent. Later on in 2004, the official US PlayStation magazine also took shots at the the game, naming it one of the most overrated cancelled games. The best quote by far in that article was when they said, "It got lots of hype, but it really sucked too." Apparently it couldn't have sucked that much because the thrill kill engine was used in a number of other games following theirs being cancelled. In at number 5, Star Wars 1313. This cancelled LucasArts video game was originally announced at E3 in 2012 and was primed to finally tell the story of the beloved Star Wars character Boba Fett. It would have followed the character's career as a young bounty hunter in the middle of the prequel and original trilogies, but in 2013, Disney had acquired the entire franchise, which then put the current video game projects on hold for the moment. In a statement by Lucasfilms, they said that they needed to minimize any risks to the company while trying to achieve a broader portfolio of quality Star Wars games, which for fans was a moment where you just wanted to shake them and scream, "Why? Why would you do this?" This really did seem like a quality Star Wars game, but the chances of it actually happening now are effectively zero. In at number 4, BC. This action-adventure video game was in development by Intrepid Computer Entertainment and was to be published for the Xbox. At the time, it was considered to be a pretty impressive game with an AI unlike anything at the time. It was a game with human-like simians living alongside dinosaurs while a real-world food chain worked in the immersive environment. It was a masterpiece of a game left in the dark due to its ambition. In fact, a former development team member named Joe Ryder had said that the game was actually 75% complete when all work came to a screeching halt. Intrepid's parent company, Lionhead, had not been sharing their proprietary technology with them and instead was more focused on developing the game Fable. In a closing statement by the game's designer Peter Molyneux, he said the decision to suspend work on any games project is always a very difficult one, particularly when it's a title with the potential of BC. Sorry Peter, not enough moolah. In at number 3, Fable Legends. Speaking of Fables, Fable Legend was another cancelled game that not too many people will remember. It was a co-op action RPG developed by Lionhead Studios and was intended for the Xbox One. It was based around 4 heroes and a villain, with each role being filled through its online multiplayer setting or alternatively by an AI. Thanks to frequent delays, media blackouts, and overall secrecy surrounding the title, it was shut down in the early beta stage. We didn't just lose Fable Legends though in this game cancellation. In March of 2016, Microsoft had announced that the game would be cancelled alongside the closure of their Lionhead Studios. The following month, the game's beta was taken down and all customers were issued a full refund for any in-game purchases that they had made. In at number 2, Prey 2. Planned as the sequel to their 2006 release of Prey, this cancelled first-person shooter was published by Bethesda's Softworks. Its narrative was tied to the first game, where an alien spacecraft called the Sphere appears over the southwestern part of the US and starts abducting humans. Although in October of 2014, Bethesda cancelled the project, saying, "It was a game we believed in, but we never felt that it got to where it needed to be. We never saw a path to success if we finished it. It wasn't up to our quality standard and we decided to cancel it." Oh, Bethesda, why? Last but not least, in our number 1 spot, Titan. This title was actually just the project name for a cancelled Blizzard Entertainment massive online multiplayer game. It was a class-based shooter game where players would have selected a character from different classes that granted them specific abilities as they progressed. The mix of the skill tree aspect though and overpowered combinations made the game feel cluttered and confusing. After some internal staff shuffling at Blizzard, they decided to cancel the project in May of 2013. However, this did not come without huge consequences. Blizzard stood to lose $50 million according to their CEO. Although thanks to a core team of 40 people, they were able to salvage some of Titan's prototypes to create the uber popular game we now know today as Overwatch. So I guess money well spent. And that has been the top 10 games you never knew got cancelled. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then show us some love here by tapping that like and subscribe button. Plus, leave us a comment down below your thoughts on this list. And for more videos like this one, all you gotta do is click that playlist on the screen. From Top 10 Gaming, I'm Johnny Rogers saying until next time, take care.